holding him, like just so he feels something all around. If you leave him lying on the bed, you know how grandmas wrap them really tight? That helps him to feel secure, I think. He still wants to curl his little feet up like he's inside you, see? Can you hear your mama's voice? Is she here?
How many people have we lost to this crisis?
I would say we've lost hundreds. These people are children, these are brothers and sisters, and these are aunts and uncles, and even grandparents and parents. So we've lost a good part of a generation of people, because most of the people we've lost are in their 20s and 30s. And so many children now are growing up without parents, and some are completely orphaned and now are being raised in foster care systems, which are very much like residential school in some places. So we've lost a lot of power in our community because of what those people could have contributed to the health of our community. Instead, they've contributed to grief and left a big hole in our community.
This is home, Ghana, otherwise known as Kainai, or the Blood Reserve. It's one of 4 nations within the Blackfoot Confederacy. Nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, in what is now known as the province of Alberta, Ghana spans over 1,400 square kilometers and is the largest reserve in Canada. This land has nourished and sustained us as a people, as Nitsitapi, since time immemorial. Beginning in 2014, fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine, flooded the illicit drug trade on the reserve. There isn't a single member of our tribe who has not lost a loved one to this crisis. This new reality has forced our community to approach addiction in radically different ways. As one of the few medical doctors working on the reserve, my mother, Dr. Esther Tailfeathers, has been a frontline witness to the crisis. I've listened many times as she shared her grief, sorrow, and frustrations. She, like so many others from our community, is motivated to fight for solutions. There are 3 main communities on the reserve: Standoff, Moses Lake, and Laverne. 30 kilometers of highway stretches between each of these communities.
Okay, so you wanted stats. That's when we first started taking the stats for the overdoses, June 2014, all the way up to November 2016. This is the one that's really, really bothersome to me, and this is the prenatal substance abuse. That means that the mothers are taking these drugs and their babies are being born in withdrawal from these drugs.
Is it permanent, or can the effects be reversed?
It's a new phenomenon. We're not really sure of what the brain, what happens to the infant's brain. We do know that their risk for addiction later in life is really high because they were already born addicted. The worst thing is that they have to go through what they call neonatal abstinence syndrome. So once they're born, then they start them on morphine tapering, so the kid doesn't go through withdrawal and die from the withdrawals.
What happens to the children?
As soon as they're born like this, Children's Services takes over And the best case scenario is that the mother be still in the environment and be able to bond with the child. And that's so important for our children to be able to stay with their families, hey? Okay, next one, Maya. This is the insight, that's the safe injection site and detox.
During my research for this film, I spent time learning from harm reduction advocates on Vancouver's downtown east side. I wanted to share what I had learned with my community, so my mother and I arranged for a group of healthcare workers from Kainai to visit the downtown east side. We visited numerous services offered by the Portland Hotel Society, such as Insight, the world's first governmentally sanctioned supervised injection site.
What the basis, I think, of harm reduction is essentially, by no means is it celebrating addiction, but what it does is it celebrates the lives of people without judgment.
Clients at the Crosstown Clinic shared their life-changing experiences through the prescription heroin program.
I'm not looking over my shoulder. I don't have to be out there being cold or whatever. I can just concentrate on me getting better.
The Brewers Co-op with the PHS Managed Alcohol Program shared some of their stories.
Started from nothing, now I've got a one-bedroom on the 10th floor in the Portland. And I'm pretty stoked about it. Pour it in, then we add it, top it up to 23 liters, and then we'll put in our yeast on top of that.
Let's go down. Just smell. I know.
And then the other way to get alcohol is to do the illicit exchange. So if you have a bottle of rubbing alcohol or Listerine, instead of consuming it, if you bring it in, then we will trade it for you.
Those are the things that cause the GI bleeds.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what causes people's guts to start bleeding. So you guys are saving a lot of people a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's great to see how well it really works.
When it comes to treatment for substance use disorders, there are two main schools of thought in the addictions field: abstinence or harm reduction. Abstinence is defined as the complete cessation of drug or alcohol use, meaning abstaining from using or engaging in any addictive substances or behaviors. Alcoholics Anonymous, founded in 1935, developed a 12-step program. 12-step programs such as AA, NA, and the Red Road to Wellbriety require abstinence and have become the most widely accepted model for treating addiction. Many detoxes and residential treatment centers are also abstinence-based. Harm reduction recognizes that abstinence does not work for everyone, or that abstinence is not a realistic expectation for many drug and alcohol users. Harm reduction is a widely used umbrella term that includes policies, strategies, and procedures that aim to reduce the harmful effects of substance use. These strategies can include distributing clean needles to prevent the spread of disease, providing naloxone or Narcan to reverse an overdose, providing a medically regulated supply of drugs or alcohol, supervised consumption services, and medically assisted detox or recovery, including opioid agonist therapy, such as Suboxone or methadone.
Our community has had to be forced into, action and learning along the way, so it's trial by error. So we've done the Narcan, we've gone into the Suboxone, and our group here is looking at expanding what we have to do to help our community heal.
Yeah, I'm so lucky here at the Portland because all of my programming is embedded inside harm reduction or housing. So this is one of our housing facilities. We house 80 people here who have come from street homelessness, usually, most of whom have severe mental illness and addiction. And then inside this building, there's a doctor and a nurse assigned to take care of those people.
Our community has really been struggling with this whole word enabling. But we have a Blackfoot word that's called Gimmat Bitsin, which means giving kindness to each other. And I have so many mothers and grandmothers and relatives of users that come, and they're like, what do we do? We've tried tough love. And a lot of times they feel really bad because they're using that Gimmatbibitsin or that motherliness where you just can't let your child go and you just can't cut those ties and let them fall. And so our community struggles with that. But I've just got this epiphany that we don't struggle with it anymore. We embrace it and say, this is our harm reduction, Gimmatbibitsin.
Finally, we met with Spikes on Bikes, a mobile, peer-led overdose response initiative.
So we have 4 components. One is we pick up used and dirty rigs, and sometimes the wrappers and the used cookers and the little water containers, things like that. This kit is the overdose Noxolon kit, and we work off of a phone that we carry with us, and we hand out these cards and the phone numbers on it. Yeah, okay.
All right, you guys have to go. All right.
I got it. Got it. There we go.
We need more breaths like that, okay? So you just stay there. Had a big overdose, but it helped pretty hard.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like my heart is pounding, like, you know, it's, to us, it's not normal yet to us, but that's what I'm scared of when we go back home, what if that's gonna be our normal? That's what really scared us.
Yeah, well, we certainly have a new normal, but we also can be really looking at prevention, but also, you know, sharing this work with everybody so that we can make it better.
He's just staring. I think it was May. May, I got the 2 older ones, Trisha and Giselle. Trisha's in school right now. And I got the baby in June, so yeah, like next month will be a year since I've had all 3 of them. Their dad is my brother. My sister-in-law got really sick. She passed away in January. You know, with me being clean for a couple months already and, you know, having all this space in my house, I decided to take them because they had nowhere to go and I had a lot of room and, you know, I just felt so empty and it felt so much better once they came and stayed with us. So yeah, we slowly started getting furniture and that TV, when I first got off taking drugs, some family members, you know, would come and check up on me and try and keep me busy, you know, just because I was really feeling down and stuff, like, because I felt so guilty because of what I put my daughter and my nephew through. So they'd come because I would, you know, tell them how I feel so depressed. I feel so bad. I could just kind of makes me want to start using again. I don't know why I was thinking that. So they would come and check up on me, and one of them actually brought me to bingo, those community bingos. And I got lucky and I won that TV.
And I told her that I'm scared to lose her, that she was the only one that's there for me. Well, yeah, practically she is. And yeah, and ever since she got off, it's like our relationship just connected again. And we just started talking more, and like we're happy again. And I want to get out of here. Yeah, I don't like it down here.
Get out of where?
Standoff.
How come?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like it because there's all those drugs around here, and I've been wanting to go to Chinook High School, that new high school in Lethbridge on the west side. Yeah, I guess that's a good school. I want to go there now. Since last year, yeah. Already called in to see if I can get into school, but they said all the grade 11s are taken up, so I already lost my chance there. So I'm gonna keep trying.
The next step was opiate replacement therapy. And we faced a lot of opposition because a lot of people were saying, aren't you substituting one drug for another? But we recognized that we really had to help people get off of fentanyl, which is unmeasured doses, and basically Russian roulette. People knew that they could die, but they still used it. With opiate replacement therapy and initially Suboxone, we started patients on that and started to see some remarkable recovery.
So 1.5. There you go, Lauren. Okay, get you to sign in. Great, thank you. With Suboxone, they don't receive the same euphoria. They're able to function. They're able to be out in the workplace on a daily basis. So that's how it works. It replaces the opiates that they've been taking, and they're able to function normally out in society.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I hid being on Suboxone on my parent, like I hid it from them again. And I had to come out and tell them, well, I've been clean. I'm on Suboxone. This is what I'm going. That's why I've been going with medical every other day, been picking me up, because that's what they thought I was using again.
They don't understand, like, that it does help. Like my cousin, she's really against it. She's really against it. She thinks it's just another drug that you're going to be addicted to for the rest of your life.
But it's helping.
But it does help. That's the thing. She doesn't understand that, trying to get off these oxyators by yourself, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, how many times did we try on our own? It's hard. I think it's impossible. I don't know. I could be wrong. Depending on how bad you were into it. Like, we were really bad into it. We couldn't get off on our own.
The difficulty was in convincing people that harm reduction is the route that we have to take, because many of our people in the community are abstinence-based thinkers because of our experience with alcoholism and people needing to be abstinent from alcohol. Our people were very much against all of that, and it's still tough to convince people who think that it's easy to quit an addiction cold turkey when it's not.
Alcohol is not legally available for purchase on the reserve, meaning some people with an addiction to alcohol and without the financial means to purchase it off the reserve resort to the illicit drinking of hand sanitizer, mouthwash, or hairspray. Some people also inhale solvent fumes. When one has a severe dependence on alcohol, it can actually be life-threatening to completely quit drinking without medical assistance.
Sometimes our friends come and visit us. Sometimes it gets cold in here.
We'll just take our blanket.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, our clothes.
Gedacht. Almost finished this.
Where did you learn to bead?
Oh, in jail. My friends taught me. Remember that time you got charged for trespass?
Here, I was gonna come for my interview. I just went to jail.
What happened?
I was coming for my interview because I was gonna be getting a job here. Then I came down, I was looking at that guy, started following me. Put your hands behind your back. And I was like, why? I said, I just came for my interview. And they said, no, it's trespass. And I was okay, and I was like, so I'm just waiting for my interview. Handcuffed me, brought me. But they gave me a break. They didn't charge me. That cop, she was nice. She didn't want to charge me.
Across the highway from Moses Lake is the town of Cardston. The majority of residents in Cardston belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the Mormon Church. When polygamy was made illegal in the United States, Mormons fled to Canada and settled in Blackfoot territory. The Mormon religion prohibits the consumption of alcohol, so it's not legally available for purchase in Cardston.
And we can see them from morning coming from the reserve, sober, and by 3 or 4 o'clock, sometime laying down on the street and absolutely passed out and in a state of health that is very sad for us to see as a community. But the way it affects us is that to be able to get those type of substance, you need some sorts of revenue. The problem is when you have people who need to raise funds, the panhandling becomes a true issue for people who try to be on Main Street shopping in their shops, because those panhandlers are becoming aggressive. In other words, they're really in your space, and they don't take no for an answer. It is a very complex problem that stems from possibly the sequels of residential schools, intergenerational disconnect, lack of proper parenting, lack of proper education, lack of job training, lack of hope, and honestly, lack of basic training with things as simple as banking, learning to deal with your finances and your personal hygiene.
When I woke up last night, it was raining. I know where I was going to go. I thought I would go sleep in one of the banks downtown. But then I found out it was open. So I just came here.
I said, who wants to go out with me? And then she said, George, he really likes you. And I was like, first time I told her, no, I don't want to. And then after that, she said, no, because he really likes you. And then I went back, and I didn't want to make him feel cheap, so I just said, yeah. Yeah, we start dating. It's been about 5 years now. In July will be 6 years. But he's a good person to me. He's not like mean or anything. My daughter just turned 7 yesterday. And my son, he's gonna be 14 in July. He's 13. So he'll be 14 on July 25th. Mm-hmm. I never used to really be like this, like to drink. But it's too hard. Like, I start getting lonely and then I just want to drink. So I start drinking. And the other stuff that solves it, that's a thing. That's a real hard addiction.
I was the same age as Leah's younger brother, Cameron. I knew him as a gifted long-distance runner. Despite numerous barriers, he was always at the front of the pack. Cameron was killed by a drunk driver in his last year of high school.
Ever since like that time, I don't know, Like, I still feel like lonely for my brother. Like, all the people left me.
Mostly I was in jail all my life. 35 years in and out. It's got used to it.
How come you kept going to jail?
To support my addiction problem. And that robbery charges. That's why sometimes I can't work. I won't hire them because of those robbery charges.
There's a big difference between people's lives in Cardston, like the white people's lives there and what's here in Moses Lake and on the reserve. How do you guys feel about that? Because you're in Cardston almost every day, hey?
Yeah, I don't like going to stores anymore. Because sometimes when I go in stores, they block me and they start searching my bags. So I get pissed off and embarrassed. Last time I went to this one store down here. We paid for everything. It was about at the door and they stopped us and they searched. Everybody was looking at it, so I don't go into it.
How many times have you been to treatment?
Let's see, twice in the 70s. 2013, I went north one. What's that? 1977. That's when I started taking AA program.
I want to go to treatment. Like, we both got to do something. Like, clean up our act and everything.
What happened after you went last time?
Well, we came back home. And then, no. There's like, somebody passed away that time. And that's the thing. So then we just end up start drinking. And using again, and yeah, that's about it.
When you go to treatment this time and you get out, what's gonna happen?
I don't know. Probably just come back onto the streets.
This program is called the Managed Alcohol Program. It's safe, regulated wine and beer, and they drink it within a safe space. And it's run in the downtown east side in Vancouver, like close to Hastings in Maine. So, yeah, I was just curious to see what you guys would think of having a program like this here in Moses Lake. Get your feedback on it.
Our community prior to our fentanyl crisis was alcohol, like alcohol and prescription drugs. And our whole community is affected by alcoholism. Every one of us has a family member who is an alcoholic.
It's a way for people to invest in being part of a community and having a safe stock of alcohol.
Then we'll put in our yeast on top of that. We'll leave that for a week and a half, and then we'll clarify it, which is what we're gonna do with this.
Just smell. I know.
I don't know, what do you guys think of that program and the idea of bringing something like that here?
I encourage it. I'd rather see it drinking beer instead of drinking that stuff that's bleeding or stuff like that.
We definitely need that here. Yeah. But I think that we could really utilize it.
It'll work. But we won't hurt ourselves. Because most of my friends all died from drinking that bad stuff. This morning, my cousin was throwing up blood because he was drinking bad stuff.
And, you know, for the solvent abuse, you know, it's only like $3 just get something. You know, it's more cheaper than the alcohol, you know. It's like $15 to get a antiseptic. And it's only like $3 just to get some of that solvent. But that'll be good though if you get a program though. Yeah. I wouldn't mind a program like something like that to be around here. Be nice.
The Kainai Healing Lodge is one of over 50 NADAP residential treatment centers in Canada. Residential treatment centers are also commonly known as drug and alcohol rehabilitation centers. NADAP, or the National Native Alcohol and Drug Abuse Program, is funded by Health Canada. NADAP treatment centers receive significantly less funding than other publicly funded residential treatment centers.
Part of the program that they take part in has the cultural pieces where we incorporate smudging every morning and every night. Additionally, what they'll do in here each morning is do a reading from the AA Big Book and also a reading from the Wellbriety book. And this one is going to be the daily reflections.
Yeah.
This is going to be the AA. And it's really the same format. In sobriety, my life gets better each day. I must always remember not to drink, to trust God, and to stay active in AA.
When was that written?
These have been around for so long. Like I said, AA is quite a well-established program.
The way I believe is that we need to move away from the old way of doing treatment. That's gone, right? Because today we're going into an era of new things that sometimes we have a hard time understanding. The old way was easy. I mean, the 12 steps is still going to be there. I firmly believe in those, but we need to shift from that to a new way of how addictions are today. There's more addictions out there, like opioids, other stuff. So we need to move from that. When I say old, meaning that something that worked back then, it's not working today.
You know, just take it one day at a time. And we always say to my grandfather, "Gagatu, Igakimat, try hard." That's what you've always told us. Everybody is different. And, you know, Igakimat. That's all we can say.
We're gonna have a sharing circle, okay? I know it's hard, and I know it's tough, but I've been telling all of you to speak from here, to speak from your heart.
I struggled with alcohol since I was a teenager. It's because I was brought up in the system. I thought no one cared or did anything for me, or no one was there.
I ain't gonna get into a lot of detail because there's so many things that I could tell. You know, traumatic things and sad things and things like that, but
I heard the stories of my mother and residential school and the molesting she had to go through, the beatings, and growing up I had a lot of trauma. My parents battled with alcohol. I was always handed off to family members. And my grandmother raised me. I'm real glad she raised me the way she did. Parents tried their best to raise me, but I guess it didn't work out.
I grew up with addiction my whole life, ever since I was a kid. I was raised by my grandparents. So thinking that was okay to be in that kind of world with alcohol, you know, it's acceptable. I was sexually abused. So right from then, I've had issues, right? We all have issues.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Have a good day, Rich.
When I think about how dramatically and how rapidly things changed for our people, it takes my breath away. My great-great-grandparents were born at a time when the first Prime Minister of Canada, John A. Macdonald, weaponized hunger as a means to violently dominate thousands of Indigenous people across this country. His motivation was our land and resources. After Canada sanctioned the slaughter of the buffalo to near extinction, our people witnessed a total collapse of our way of life, followed by unprecedented starvation and death. Our leaders were misled into believing that treaties represented a peaceful resolution to the state's brutal warfare tactics. Throughout the treaty negotiation process, the power imbalance was unquestionable. The state held the upper hand, and at no time did our leaders agree to surrender our land. The year after Treaty 7 was ratified, some of our people were forced to eat grass to survive. Some of our people then died from consuming tainted flour and rotten meat included in our rations. A few years later, the Canadian Pacific Railway began its westward expansion through our territory, uniting Canada's east and west. Our wild prairie grasslands were then rapidly transformed into farm and ranch land by settlers. The state continued to enact violent policies designed to subjugate us as a people. The pass system prohibited our people from leaving the reserve without a pass from an Indian agent. The Indian Act controlled every aspect of our lives and prohibited us from practicing our culture and spirituality, opening a bank account, hiring a lawyer, voting, and mandated that our children attend residential schools. This all happened in less than 20 years, and that was really just the start.
I've been wanting to do this since I was like 5. And now that I'm doing this, and to be honest, to me, it feels like a dream. It feels like I feel like just walking up to somebody in town and pinch me, see you all wake up. That's how glad and how much pride I have that I actually made it to where I wanted to go. I'm proud. Proud of being from Kaina. I'm proud to be a blood Indian. Well, how we would do it, say we're at a ceremony or something, it's an Indian name, so I would say, "Aki nidane ko igaya na goem, ita papaye, astis tumix." That's how you would say it.
Did you see that? In case you missed it, let's go back and have a closer look. Where Apple 3 once was is now a black, empty space. If you watch...
What movie are you guys watching?
We're watching Bigfoot.
Oh.
The one we were watching last week.
I still haven't finished it yet. I started watching it on my computer.
I was having nightmares from it. Because I left it up. I left it on up there while I was sleeping. I grew up on the blood tribe. Alcohol has always been a problem here, right? You always get calls for alcoholism, but it wasn't until when you think it was when the fentanyl started.
I think it got really bad 2.5 years ago or something.
Get people dropped off at the front of the fire hall, and they're 3 people at a time, and we're all trying. There's only 4 of us here at a time, right? So every one of us is on a different patient, trying to bag the patient, trying to get them back. So that was kind of hectic at that time, but now it's settled down a lot more than what it used to be. Friends have gone into that, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a bad place for them right now. But I just wish it was gone. I wish my friends wouldn't be doing that kind of stuff, you know.
Bloodshot Fire Department? All right, have a good day.
We get a lot of pizza calls. We literally do. And they're like, is this pizza 73? No, this is
2 in the morning.
Blood Tribe Fire Hall. it's very important that our non-First Nations employees understand what has happened to our people. And yeah, a lot of them drink, a lot of them are addicted. There's a lot of uneducated people out here, but there's reasons for that. We didn't just one day decide to be what we've become. You know, when we were strong, like, you know, like history marks like the Bloods as some of the fiercest, strongest people there ever was, right? We held our women on a pedestal. We respected everybody. We helped each other out. And I want us to get to that point again. It truly breaks my heart because a lot of the people I see, you know, in Moses Lake walking around, you know, hearing stand up, they were some of my closest friends in elementary school, right? They came to my birthday parties. You know I'm not gonna heal them and I'm not gonna, you know, make them better because they're suffering in their own way. Like they that's why they've become addicted, because they've experienced that intergenerational trauma every day of their lives. And I'm not gonna heal them, but if I can at least give them a little bit of empathy and care when I'm with them, I think that's kind of my way of I don't know, like just doing the best I can, I guess. It's hard. Like, it's not easy.
It's well known that many of our people will not go to certain hospitals because of the treatment that they get. And myself, it's been really difficult. It's something that is called moral injury. When you work with others, or you are in a situation where you see your people being hurt, but you have to work and continue to maintain where you're at and not make a fuss every day. So it's really difficult to see this on a daily basis and to continue working when you know your people are hurt, when you know they're complaining, and when there's only you to deal with your patient situation, and to have to educate your colleagues and coworkers on how they're treating our people. And for me, it's been really difficult. And I think a lot of Indigenous physicians and nurses face the same thing. And I know a lot of our people refuse to go for care because of the way that they're treated within the healthcare system. Now, I want to qualify that with saying that there's a lot of good non-Indigenous physicians and nurses that are very compassionate, but it often takes one or two experiences by a racist or biased health professional to hurt a person and to gain their non-trust. Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
How was your weekend?
It was all right. Enjoyed the weather.
Yeah, till last night, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing pretty good, hey?
Yeah. I was thinking, I've been on, I think, is it 14?
14, yep.
For a while now.
Okay.
Trying to think of going down a bit.
How do you feel? Like, do you feel pretty stable on the 14?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Mel had some concerns thinking that...
Did she drop down? Did we drop her down?
Yeah, she's down to 4.
How is she doing?
She's doing really good.
Good. Okay, good. So
she handles it better than me, going down.
You know, everybody's different. Don't judge yourself on anybody else, hey? The bottom line is we don't want you to relapse.
No.
Okay, so that's our biggest goal, is we don't want you to relapse. The side goal is we want to get you down. So I'm not going to force you or push you to come down. So we want to make sure that you're stable and that we don't destabilize your life, hey? Because in no time, if you relapse, things could just really fall apart. So the main thing that we have to think about is how you feel emotionally. And we need to know that you're strong enough, you're feeling strong enough. We have to keep you really healthy, hey? Because those kids need you.
Yeah.
So we have to keep you in good shape. If you burn yourself out, then the kids won't have anybody, hey?
Yeah.
Right now, you're helping yourself, you're helping Mel, you're helping your sister's children, your own children, and then you have Mel's child to think about too sometimes. And, you know, that's way too much stress for you. You're doing really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Well, keep it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're doing a really good job.
They're going to be given our opening prayer and song this morning. So if you could come out and take your seats, we are ready to begin.
Ate moiskamis, esamokeo, ayo hey yo.
Friends, relatives, those of you who have come to visit us, I welcome you all. I really want to thank all of you who have been involved in trying to eradicate this new drug that has been causing us problems for the last few years.
And we're finding that with drugs as strong as fentanyl, that it's really difficult for addicts to have complete abstinence. For some, they feel it's impossible. So the older population is saying, well, why don't you guys just quit? Why don't you just, go cold turkey and quit? But a lot of people have tried that, but they have not been successful. And in the meantime, we've lost a lot of lives. The next thing we want to do is we want to address a detox facility on reserve, because we're finding that the relapse rates from people going into detox and waiting for treatment allows them to relapse, and they feel like they're failures. So if we can get them directly from detox into treatment, then we might have more success and we might be able to help them a little more.
Mom, how much do I give baby again?
Maybe too much, he'll just throw it on the ground.
Okay. What's that? Yeah, of course I can handle them. Oh, yes. Are you on lunch or something, Shay?
Huh?
How long are you here?
Hour?
Yeah. Okay, so you can help Mariah, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me do this while he's here, so it won't be that long.
Yeah, I'll phone that school and I'll talk to that Marvin. I'll find out what's gonna happen.
Okay.
You should have phoned back already.
I know.
You're good. Listen to your sister. Okay?
Go see you in a bit, my girl. Yeah, so yeah, just juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tired of this.
I'm just going to life management right now. I need to get my English. Lethbridge, they told me if I can average at least the 80, and then they'll take me in to go try to get my wind turbine certificate. And that's something. Because that's like my biggest goal is to get into wind turbine technician, And yeah, that's pretty good. I've been addicted to fentanyl for 2 years now. I'm not living my life anymore. I'm living the life, like, of a drug addict, like the beans. I'm living life just to do a bean. And it's sad. And my grandma just cries all the time. I had to see her when she's crying. I know. Because she knows that I'm into this stuff now. Everyone's starting to know that I'm into this stuff now. And it's just not who I used to be. It's kind of sad.
Have you thought about going on Suboxone?
Yeah, they said, because I went up there before and I tried to see Esther, but they're just booked, so I got to go to Cardston and see my own doctor, which I haven't seen in quite some months now.
Esther's in today. She doesn't
Yeah.
have patients booked.
Yeah?
If you went today, you would get in to see her.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. It's just another addiction for me, to another burden, so.
So this is Lori and Sanjay and some others talking about.
Just from other stories I heard that it was another drug to get high. This thing is the Suboxone is really help with the cravings, the withdrawals, mostly with the craving. If I didn't have them, it was rough. It was sick.
Well, they're right about everything they said. They
Yeah.
are right about everything they said. I got a lot to live for. I got a lot of people that I don't want to hurt. That's the last thing I want to do is hurt someone. Yeah, like, I can't think right. Yeah, but I have like a really weak stomach. Like, will it be better if I just come in and talk to you? Yeah, yeah, I'll make it.
Awesome.
Okay.
So you're in today for some help?
Yeah.
Let me just get your chart open here. So it's just kind of on the spot. You realized you wanted to do this, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit of history from you if you don't mind. So can you tell me how long you've been using?
2 years. 2 years now. And it's just gotten daily now. It's just getting daily.
So you wait till your withdrawal's really bad, eh?
Yeah. And, which is when I go to sleep. And that's when it really...
That's when it's really hard, eh?
Yeah.
What are your symptoms today?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm just not really functioning. Like, I'm getting really emotional.
Okay.
Not functioning right.
So you're about ready to start crying, eh?
Yeah.
Got headache?
Yeah, I get those, like, towards nighttime, I start getting really rank headaches.
Okay, how about body aches?
No, not really body aches. Just my feet get restless, and that's
Okay.
what prevents me from sleeping.
Okay, so, and how did you get started? Was it a friend that told you?
Practically everyone around me. So, all of my friends.
All right, so let's get you started. Eventually what we're gonna do when you're on your feet and back in school and your life feels like it's pretty stable, then we're gonna start reducing your Suboxone. So the aim would be that sometime in the future you'll be off of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so glad you came in.
Yeah.
You're gonna have money in your pocket too now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the 2 medications here. That's just for nausea, and this is the Suboxone. It goes under your tongue and it melts pretty fast.
Yeah.
And the reason why it goes under your tongue is because the blood behind your tongue almost goes straight to your brain,
Yeah.
and that's the fastest way to feel better, hey?
Yeah.
Initially, the pharmacist will watch you until it is completely dissolved.
Yeah.
But we're gonna watch you, and then I'll talk to you and ask you how you're feeling, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Tongue back. All right. All right, so usually it takes about maybe 5 up to 5 minutes to dissolve. Do you have kids?
No.
Do you want to take another drink?
Yeah. I would have had a kid.
No, maybe right now it's a good thing you don't, hey? Because you got you to take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is it almost gone?
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Yeah, it's almost gone. And is it starting to feel like you had a line?
Yeah. Like, it's like my brain is kind of like breathing now. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit better?
It's like...
What about your legs? Are you feeling less restless?
Yeah. I don't know, it kind of feels like, okay, comfortable now.
So the long-term goals are, like you said, you want to get back into school, hey? I want you to continue the life management work that you're doing. And then have a goal in mind, like maybe by January, you might want to start going back to Red Crow for picking up your high school. From now until you come see me again, I want you to avoid fighting. If somebody tries to pick a fight with you, walk away.
Yeah.
Okay, because fights usually are what trigger relapses.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. And if somebody is judging you or making you feel bad, walk away from them. Don't even talk to them, okay? Because it's your life, it's not theirs, okay? And one of the things is that you need to appreciate your partner and the people that are supporting you. Say thank you to them because they're the ones that are going to help you get through this too,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And I want to see you next week. And we'll start increasing if we need to, or we'll keep it where it's at. You can go every morning now. Your prescription's over there. You can go every morning now to get your Suboxone.
I'm happy for you. Yay.
I gotta go back down because Birdie's expecting me.
I'm happy for him. That he's on that. So I don't have to worry about me losing him. I don't like walking around standoff. Especially with all this drug dealing thing. I don't like it. I don't even like coming outside, to be honest. That's why I just tell my mom if I can watch the kids. And she says, yeah, are you sure? I'm like, oh yeah, didn't I tell you? And she's like, yeah. So yeah, that's what I usually do every day. And I don't mind it. It's keeping me out of trouble. And that's what I like. And plus I want to go back to school. Hopefully my mom can watch them. She's on Suboxone now. Yeah.
It's awesome. Really good, I'm happy.
That's what I'm saying too.
It's good, hey baby?
When did he get?
Oh, he's been up for a while.
Ay, sige, sticky, yeah. Yeah.
Boxycock.
Hey, Marlo. How you doing?
You were supposed to go to the vet.
I just turned 22 in November 6th. I was raised here in Moses Lake from a foster home. It was pretty cool you guys came.
How come?
It's the first time I'm actually on camera. Oh, yeah, besides jail.
Jail?
Yeah, besides going to jail.
In 1 year from now, where do you think you'll be, or where do you want to be?
You know, I never thought of that. Never thought of that.
So, when we talked last time in the summer, you were trying to get into treatment?
Yeah, we're still waiting. That's the only way we can get a place. We got a counselor in standoff, a counselor. So he helps out everybody. That's where we go see once in a while. When it gets warm, we hike up, go see him. Just sign papers, how many visits we had. Give us a medical report. So this time they're saying this month or next month.
The path to getting into a treatment center is complicated. Before going to treatment, George and Leah need to visit their addictions counselor in standoff 4 times. They generally have to hitchhike the 30 kilometers to get there. They then need to get medical forms from their family doctor. And then they need to go to a detox. Most detoxes in Alberta have a wait list. After completing these steps, they can finally apply for a bed in a NADAP treatment center. However, most treatment centers in Alberta have a wait list. Many people from Kainai live in the nearby city of Lethbridge. Those who live with addictions have access to different services in the city than those who live on reserve. Arches is a non-profit organization in Lethbridge that offers over 20 wraparound services rooted in harm reduction practices. The Indigenous Recovery Coach program supports Indigenous people who are in recovery and specifically on opioid agonist therapy, such as Suboxone or methadone. The program recognizes that participants face numerous barriers in their daily lives. So coaches offer one-on-one support for everything from getting to appointments, to finding housing, to getting into treatment. The program also offers cultural support, guidance from elders, and access to ceremony.
So I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to treatment up north. I'll be gone for 56 days, so a little scared, but it's something I have to do. When you're on drugs, it's a routine. You get up, you start looking, right, for your drug of choice. And then it's just like all day, it seems like you're on that drug, right? Whereas methadone, I take it once a day and I'm fine, I can function. And I tried Suboxone, but I had a really bad allergic reaction to it. I kept getting sick and it just wasn't working for me.
How did your life change after you started
Methadone.
methadone treatment?
I started living normal, right? Like living that normal life again. Whereas before it wasn't a normal, healthy life, right? And I'm living healthy. And just to function throughout the whole day, normally, like a normal person, right?
She deserves the credit. She did everything. She's just very, very resourceful lady and very smart. And for the most part, she's done all of this planning just on her own. And it's just that we're there to help her with the recovery and just any kind of like long-term or short-term goals.
All right, see you guys.
Okay,
All
see
right,
you.
yeah.
Have a safe, good journey.
Yes, I will.
I always dreamed of having this kind of life. After I had my daughter, I relapsed for a couple months, and just one morning I woke up and I couldn't do it anymore. I was struggling, I had nothing, like literally nothing. And my brother told me, you should write down your goals and then, just write them down. And then maybe in the future it will happen, but it won't happen right away. But just to keep that paper. And then I did do it, but I don't have that paper anymore. And then my goals kind of came true because now I got my own place, my daughter, I'm going to school, Kenneth's working. I feel a lot better, confident. This is for the people out there that I want to say to them. Okay, my name's Rady Goodrider. I'm from the Blood Tribe Reserve. Today marks 11 months, and it hasn't been all good, but I handled life without it. I know I'm better off. I just had enough looking over my shoulder, waiting for the next fix. 16 years old when I started using, and now I'm 20 years old and finally sober. As long as I can keep myself healthy, I can still accomplish all the things I dreamed of doing. Never think less of yourself because you're somebody. My personal story. She's in daycare.
Oh, she's 1 year old now?
Wow,
she's really cute.
I love being a mom. I love taking care of my daughter. She means everything to me. I'm so glad I got her.
In response to the opioid crisis, Arches opened a supervised consumption site, which became one of the busiest in Canada. The majority of the clients who use the site are Indigenous, and many are from Kainai.
So inside this facility, we have about 8 different programs that operate. Our largest program is supervised consumption services, so that's where you're standing right now. Can you buzz me in? Thank you. And this is the consumption room. So nursing stations, there are 2 because the room's so large. So in this room, there are 13 booths. In the second room, there are 4 more booths for when we get busy. So we have 4 modes of consumption here. So people can inject, they can inhale, they can snort, or they can ingest orally. So when they come in, they generally wash their hands, and then they would let us know what supplies they want. sterile water so that they're using a good water source. Ties, no different than when you go to get your blood taken, so that they can tie off. And then cookers and filters. And for those that are smoking fentanyl or other fentanyl analogs or heroin, we provide foil for them. So they get monitored while they're in here and they're using. If there's any issues or medical emergencies, then we have staff on hand to respond. And we have all of the medical equipment that would be required to be able to revive somebody from an overdose. So all of the booths are the same size, except for one that's a little bit bigger to support either people in wheelchairs or people who are participating in our peer-assisted injection pilot project.
Do you feel safe using the smoke room here?
Yeah. Just in case something does go wrong. Staff's here to help. Seeing them firsthand help other people. It's good. I think, all it takes is just one person to care. Because everyone out here is a person. We're all people. Breathe the same air, bleed the same blood.
Do you find value in the services that Arches
Well,
offers?
yes, I do, because there's a lot of people that I see here that OD a lot and OD a lot in here. And if they go out there and do the same thing and they OD out there, they won't have anything. Or they don't take anything with them, they could, they won't come out of their situation. If it happens out there in the alley or somewhere else, without their OD kits.
So there's talks about cutting budgets for places like Arches. If you didn't have Arches, where would you be?
And probably be a lot more deaths and ODs, That's all that's gonna happen.
The supervised consumption site and other harm reduction services offered through Arches received pushback from some residents of Lethbridge. Vocal opponents to the SCS organized numerous protests, petitions, and community gatherings. Various Facebook groups opposed to the SCS were created in an effort to shame drug users. Photos and footage of clients of the SCS were frequently posted in these social media forums without their consent, along with racist and derogatory comments. A nearby business had a 24-hour YouTube stream directed at the SCS entrance. Violence toward SCS clients and staff was also documented. A Lethbridge man was charged with assault with a weapon after firing a paintball gun from a moving truck at clients and staff.
Yes, actually, I was in one that's back here by these steps in this alley. I was talking to these two girls. And I didn't see it, I didn't hear it, but somebody told me, look, Lloyd, you're on, I think she said Facebook. We went to her phone, I was looking at it, it's to the picture of me. I had my back to the camera, it was coming from behind me, this building back here. Standing there with the two girls and side, it looked like we were making a deal, but I don't know. We were just talking.
Do you feel safe here in Lethbridge?
No.
How come?
Like 2 days ago, some white guys pulled a shotgun on me when I was walking down the street. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. This truck just pulled up and I heard them load that shotgun. And they're calling me a fucking savage or whatever.
I've been hearing a lot, and I see a lot of white people beating on the Indian on the street, the alleys, or just calling them down, names and everything. It's kind of dangerous for a native to walk around alone at night, or even during the day sometimes, eh?
In 2008, 2 Blackfoot men were targeted in an unprovoked assault by Lethbridge resident Bradley Gray. Gray chased George Manyshots and Percy Pantherbone into an alley near his Northside home and beat George Manyshots to death. Percy Pantherbone was also badly injured in the assault. Gray was heard saying earlier that day, "We do nothing but fucking put up with drunken Indians." He also told a friend that he was going to clean up the neighborhood. Bradley Gray was sentenced to life in prison under a manslaughter conviction for the murder of George Manyshot's. George Manyshot's death was listed as a hate homicide, one of only 2 hate homicides in Canadian history at the time.
Habitsnurtix boyo. Yeah, we'll say, get going. Ayo kinna. Ayo snapis. Ayo hasitapan nanduka. Ani kahit puktumux pinna, nani nitutaak sa puh pinna. Ayo kimatu kinna, nani dahit skni pinna, nani dahin chipotaya. Aniksi nitaskamanan. You guys want to go down? This way.
The Sage Clan Patrol is a volunteer-run organization founded by Mark Braverock. Mark was inspired by Winnipeg's Bear Clan. The Sage Clan patrols the streets of Lethbridge 3 times a week and offers support to vulnerable people. They also safely dispose of used needles and other drug paraphernalia.
Api! Go away. Fred. Why don't you try and get to the shelter? It's too cold here. You sure you're gonna be okay? We're gonna come back and check on you, all right? Okay?
Sounds good. Okay.
How long? How long?
Bye. Right away.
Right away? Sly, you and Nadell, do you wanna wait? Yeah. Wait for Dot. We'll come back through here. Sure. We're gonna come and pick him up, all right? Okay. That's exactly what we don't like to see, is somebody hiding in a secluded spot to sleep. That's when they get beaten up. They get found by guys who beat them up, just to beat them up. How do you explain it, eh? Why they would do it to somebody? Like I said, Eric's pretty thorough.
Find anything there? What'd you find? That would be good to have those rubber gloves. Rinse off your gloves when you get home. Watch your step.
All
Watch
right.
where you're stepping, and
Okay.
in case there's any needles or stuff like that, you have really thin shoes.
I lost my mom about 2 months, it'll be a year that I lost her through addictions. Yeah. This time I couldn't save her. And I still feel my mom's presence because all the routes that we went through, well, I always found my mom. So it kind of feels like I'm with her. Yeah.
My English name is Sylvester James Daniels. Well, I'm known as Sly around here, Sly Daniels. My Indian name is Apisko. That means traveler in Blackfoot. I left that addiction when I was in Vancouver. I was on the streets there for a few years. And so I used to shoot up a lot of dope and stuff like that. So I know what it's like, hands down. You know, and I think that's actually probably one of the good things that makes me want to do this, because when I was in the darkness of doing all that dope and stuff like that, all that, hurting myself, there were people like us, and, they'd come up to me and always ask me if I'm okay. And just being able to see people ask that question, are you okay? And they come up to you, that gives you a light, eh? So it just, when people do that, when they did that to me, that makes me want to do this too, eh?
Okay.
Well, you want to sing a song?
Sly.
Yes.
You want to join us?
Hey oh hey oh hey oh hey oh hey oh hey hey oh hey oh hey oh
Hey, 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 hi, hey, hey, oh, hey, hi, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey,
Hello, Christine.
Hi, Alton. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Shifts?
It's the crew.
Cool.
The crew.
Okay, well, wish me luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And I passed and A my tests.
Ajo später biob. Gits kmatsa mochtinan, ispomokinan anochsigoi, gimokinan, estomatsukinan. Idaka ikakim, nakuatsa moika. Idaka ikakim, nakaimas. Idaka ikakim, nakaenemasti. Idaka ikakim, naksabistapis.
So make sure that you put your name, today's date, have your calculators handy, times table sheet, use that. And if you get stuck, let us know. We'll help you out. And you got an hour. You got an hour to do it. So good luck.
I was kind of at a bad, how do I say it, place that I was going downhill and all that. I have no one to talk to or anything. And plus me and Shay are fighting around the time too. So that just that's where it just kind of went. I don't know why. So kind of put myself in a bad place right there. So kind of regret it though. I really do. I'm not even lying. Yeah. I just hope that I actually accomplish my goals and that I do get my life clean and healthy. I'm really hoping to be a nurse still, so I won't.
I'll check my laundry. Yeah, it feels really good to be working, doing something, getting out of the house. Started noticing her being different. And then, I confronted her. She was scared at first, but, I just told her, that I wasn't mad at her. I was more, worried about her. We had a really good long talk. And I told her I would help her get off. I didn't want her to be on it. So she cried, we cried. We had a really, a moment. And I just told her, I'll help you. So I was the one who made the appointment for them to go get on Suboxone. So yeah, so I was just kind of hurt though to see her, on it. Never thought my daughter would be, into that. But I guess I'm partly to blame for it because she witnessed me, I still remember the day I brought her when she first went to school, and her reaction when I literally got kicked out of there. They wanted,
to try and break that bond. So I literally stood outside the door and I hear her crying and I'm like standing outside and I'm like bawling my eyes out. And then there's this teacher that walks by and she just comes and she's like, oh, is it your daughter's or your child's first day class? I was like, yeah. I said, I didn't let her go to Head Start, so this is my first time, you know, letting her go to school and be on her own. She said, yeah, we've seen that. But, you know, she'll be okay. So she literally walked me out of the school.
Still working EMS casually, but I also work now in a part-time permanent position with the mobile medical unit.
Morning.
Marcia and I were actually sisters, so she got involved in this first, and then I, of course, followed because I'm the little sister.
Good morning.
Along with providing primary health care services, the mobile medical unit dispenses harm reduction supplies and delivers Suboxone to patients who do not have transportation to the pharmacy every day.
Like, I was one of those people who thought, oh, you're just replacing one addiction with the other. It was just more of my own personal journey from, you know, being one of those, oh my God, harm reduction, that's, you know, it's not doing anything for anybody. What good is it? To kind of really understanding, you know, what harm reduction is and why it's needed within the community.
Your last visit was good?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're still really involved with your baby, hey?
Yeah, I still go over there and visit.
Yeah.
They wanted me to go for treatment, then they wanted me to go for parenting classes. Then when I have visits here, then if those are going good, like everything's going perfect, then she'll be able to have sleepovers.
Oh, okay.
And then when those sleepovers are good, where she's happy, like there's nothing wrong with her sleeping here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll get her back.
Are you done? Let's see. Okay. All right. So tomorrow, bring your lockbox out with you, because you'll have the weekend carries.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. See you. Have a good day.
Yeah. You too.
Okay.
With every wave of the opioid crisis, community leaders and frontline workers at Kainai become more adept at responding to emergencies. In response to yet another spike in overdoses, community leaders are gathering to coordinate their efforts.
Hello. How are you? That's 13, right, in the last...
Since yesterday morning, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, and then 22 in 48 hours.
Okay, so you'll report on this. So just to give everything context, I'm going to ask Jason to give a report because Jason and his crew have been extremely busy.
In the last 24 hours, we've done 13 overdoses. In the last 48 hours, we've done 22 overdoses. So over and above that, we've also done all the other calls that are in there. So keeping in mind, there's only 3 ambulances that are on shift at any given time on the blood reserve. We're working hard on the detox center. We've got support from Chief and Council and from our board to move forward with this. Kevin's working hard with the federal and provincial government trying to secure more funding. And other than that, we don't have a whole lot more to report.
Thank you. Let's move to Esther. Could you give a little bit of an update?
Okay, so I stopped in the emergency room this morning to get an update. They've had 20 overdoses since Tuesday morning. And last night they had 3 overdoses. They're taking up to between 6 to 8 vials of naloxone to revive them. And we did have 1 death yesterday morning. which is suspected overdose. So there's a couple of things that we're stepping up on, and one is we really need to step up on the naloxone distribution at every site. We have a walk-in Suboxone clinic today, and we'll have a walk-in Suboxone clinic on Saturday and Sunday for anybody that's going through withdrawal. They can come directly to the clinic Saturday and Sunday, and we'll assess them for starting them on Suboxone, and hopefully they're not going to seek more of this stuff to get, because most of the people are dope sick, and what they're doing is they're just wanting to feel better.
How are our naloxone kits? Do we have lots?
I placed an order yesterday, so they should be coming in hopefully by the end of the week. Right, about 250.
250?
Yeah.
2335. Do you want Charmaine and myself to respond?
She had a pulse the whole time, right? I wouldn't have done it.
Came in as a cardiac arrest, and when the crews got on scene, they determined it was another overdose, which makes it our 7th for the day. Witnessing the calls, it's very heart-wrenching. When you go on a call and people are breathless, they've got very weak pulses, and you do the best you can. Just restocking our naloxone from the 3 overdoses we just had. The one gentleman in Townsite took 8 mils to bring him back till he was breathing on his own. So it's definitely a carfentanil that's back in our community.
Carfentanil is a synthetic opioid 100 times more potent than fentanyl and 10,000 times more potent than morphine.
Okay, everyone. Glad you're here. I don't know if you guys are aware, we're having a crisis situation with the opioids again. We're gonna just do the naloxone training today and show you guys what to do if you come upon an overdose.
So the naloxone kit contains 3 vials of naloxone. In each one of those little brown bottles, there is 1.4 milligrams or 1 milligram of the naloxone.
There you go. Yeah, you better learn. Come on. Pull it back to where it's in the liquid, then take it and pull back. You see the fluids going in, and then you draw back a bit, and then make sure it goes to the 1. That's the dose, okay? So you're gonna take your muscle and you go straight in, okay? You're in, you're gonna go straight down. There you go. Now you could save a life, okay? Thanks.
When we get we call it a bad batch. When a bad batch happens, the guys are going call to call because sometimes there's multiple people in a house that'll drop, and then we're starting to. I thought we were gonna run out of our Narcan, so every officer is issued 3 of these Narcan. With the bad batch, it takes 7 of these to revive that person, where before it only used to take 3. See, the box is almost empty now. We call them fentanyl shifts, or fentanyl patrol is called. They'll start their shift, they'll grab a bunch of Narcan, and they'll just drive around, and then they'll listen to the radio. And then whenever they hear an overdose come in, they'll go to that call. And that's all they do. So then that'll free up the existing officers that are working that regular night shift to actually attend what they're supposed to be attending. What had happened is that person showed up at house 205, wanted water, turned blue, and then just dropped into an overdose. And EMS got there first, revived her, and then she took off on foot, avoiding us. And we haven't found her since, so that's what the officers are tied up doing right now, checking different family member houses all over the reserve and trying to figure out. As long as we know that she's alive and breathing, then we'll lay off, but until then, we'll have to keep looking for her. I don't know, I'd like to be a time traveler and travel back to pre-colonization to see how things were dealt with back then. That would be really interesting. Just because obviously I think it started right from colonization. But that's just my opinion.
In response to the increase in overdoses, the Kainai Healing Lodge has transitioned into a temporary detox over the holiday season.
Okay, yeah, so I'm really glad you're here. And you've, let's see, 7 days or 5 days?
7 days.
7 days. Tell me how you feel physically.
Starting to feel a little better now since when I came in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still kind of...
A little shaky?
Yeah.
Any headache?
No.
No headache? No cold sweats?
Yeah.
Little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll still have to deal with that. What about your emotional part? How do you feel?
Still feel kind of...
Sad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one, eh? Have you been able to get through some of the stuff that's happened at residential school?
That's why I drink.
Lots of stuff that happened there. But you know, George, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but I don't want to open that up right now. But I know that that's probably one of the hardest parts in your life. And if we can start working with it in treatment, like I know it hurts you every day, but I don't want to open it up right now. You need to be in a safe place where we can start talking about that. Because it's one hurt that leads to another hurt, that leads to another hurt. And at some point you just have so much that you have to put back together. Right? And none of it's your fault.
Like many Blackfoot children, George was close with his grandparents. His grandfather, Calling Last, was one of our great spiritual leaders in our sacred Sundance societies. When George was 6 years old, he was taken from his family and placed in residential school. At a time when he should have been learning about our sacred traditional ways and forming his identity as a Blackfoot person, he was placed in a violent institution designed to assimilate.
As a young person, I've lost many close relatives to alcohol. Many of my uncles on both sides of my family have died secondary to alcohol use. We lost a niece a few years ago to opioid overdose, and we just weren't watching or paying attention and didn't realize that in our family periphery there was somebody who was at risk.
He's got the gift of gab.
Look where it got me.
One time I had to go to court. I was standing in court and I was thinking, I'm just going to plead guilty. I don't want to be talking. Next thing he came and stood behind me and started talking. I got out of it.
Was it for a speeding ticket or something?
You turned on the street.
Oh, yeah. My grandparents say that their greatest achievement is their children and grandchildren, and they really mean that. None of us saw it coming when my cousin passed away because we didn't know that she was using again.
The loss of my granddaughter was very difficult. Every day we think of my granddaughter. I had cancer
about 17 years ago. And when I got home, she was there. And we'd sit up, but I couldn't sleep. I'd sit up most of the night and she'd sit up with me. And we'd tell stories. I'd tell her stories. Sometimes I hope they sunk in. She and I got very close. She called me several times to go and pick her up in Calgary. There's no reason I didn't go. I had no reason. I just didn't go. And the next thing we get the call.
My grandparents treasure that last thing she mailed them. It was a Valentine's Day card she made with her daughter. The envelope was filled with silver heart-shaped confetti. She really loved that daughter of hers, and she was a good mom. After she passed, my grandpa sealed that heart-shaped confetti right into the woodwork of the dining room counter. I held my grandparents when we laid her to rest. I've never witnessed sorrow like theirs that day, and every day since then. The regret and what-ifs and if-onlys are always there. But I don't want this film to serve as a memory of the way she passed, because she was so much more than that. She was never afraid to say I love you, and she wasn't afraid of taking chances. She was so damn funny, and she got away with saying just about anything. She had bright eyes and a beautiful crooked smile. I miss her laugh and her way of teasing. I miss telling her my secrets and knowing she'd keep them safe. I miss her so much. I wish we knew then what we know now, because she'd still be here to say I love you.
It's a long way up there.
Yeah.
But it's really lucky that we now have that space.
When is it going to be finished?
They're looking at the end of December, and starting January the 10th is our aim for our start day.
After years of work, a safe withdrawal site, or detox, is opening at Kainai. For those who are ready to go into recovery, the detox will fill a much-needed gap in the treatment pathway.
So as you can see, it's all under construction now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with 4 rooms. And here, I'll show you what we're doing here. We'll try to keep them until we've got them stable medically and help them through their withdrawals. And then we assess whether or not we're gonna start them on Suboxone or methadone, or if they're going to look at abstinence. So it's not actually like a hospital or a subacute care. It's actually like a home that people are in, and the paramedics are coming in, and we will have staff here, but it's a different kind of model than what other people have ever seen. You know, we need to put this one building block into our treatment pathway, and that was what we decided would be most helpful in this crisis, is to move one more step further than just harm reduction and saving lives, and that's to start getting people into stabilized care and the actual treatment that they need to turn their lives around. It's really exciting that we're moving into something that nobody has ever done before, but we have to. It's out of necessity that we have to do the things that need to be done. And we can't sit back and expect things to change without doing the work and without really doing all of the community activity that we're doing.
The Bringing the Spirit Home Detox opened in February 2019 in Standoff. Bringing the Spirit home offers support through a harm reduction model with opioid agonist therapy, as well as support in a more conventional abstinence-based detox model. Clients are invited to stay as long as they need, and support is offered to those who wish to get into a residential treatment center.
Good, good. Looks like you got 2 more patients.
We did, yeah. He came in at about 3:30.
Okay.
He was okay, and then he did his shower and everything, and he started getting super agitated. So he's already had 1 milligram of Ativan.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to slow him down.
Okay. Do you have like the progress notes? So I'll go in with the progress note sheet and one of these, and then it works out really fast. There, yeah, there we go.
Oh, these ones. Yeah.
So I am in the process right now of seeking treatment for 2 of our clients. So what is your process now? Once I get everything sent up to you, how long of a wait do I have to, what am I looking at? 2 months for mail. Yeah, I told them everything on our end is covered as far as application, medical, and funding. And there is still a wait list.
It's just interesting because, when we talked to the federal government, they said that we would, with that new list, we wouldn't have that wait time. Okay. All right, it's something we'll work on next week.
Yeah. I'll call them back on Monday.
Okay, thanks.
Kara Eaglebear is a member of the Kainai Nation and is one of the paramedics working at the detox. Her father, Warren, has been a client there for 45 days. He was an EMT on the blood reserve for 13 years before developing PTSD due to the trauma he witnessed on the job.
Rylan was telling you that you put on weight?
Yeah. Put on lots of weight since I got here.
He said when he got here, he was 147, now he's 193.
Must be the food.
All the carbs?
Yeah.
It's a big stress relief on us, knowing that you're here and you're okay.
Now that I'm here, I don't want to leave.
You'll just move in. I just hope that people would understand where all this hurt is coming from. I want people to know that they're not bad people. They're really, really kind. And I just don't want them to be judged.
There's 22, but 7 are leaving this morning. Some have done their, 30 days here. And some, they're in here for 7 days, and we tried to talk them into staying, but they want to leave, and we can't force them to stay.
The reason, for us to be leaving, it's not to go out and about, start doing the stuff we're doing. We just want to get, all our stuff ready, and because we're going to be heading to treatment, so we can be ready when we go to treatment.
All right.
Okay, see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Take care, George.
You guys know where we're at. If you guys want to come back, it's your choice. You guys don't have to leave. This is you guys choosing to leave. So best of luck in everything. You can get those assessments done, and hopefully you guys can get into treatment on the 1st.
This release form there.
Okay, and then this is our incident form from this afternoon, if you'd like to just check it.
My name is Leonard Chief Moon. I'm the supervisor here at the Bringing the Spirit Home Detox Center. With the clients that we have here, when I do talk with them, I tell them that I'm proud of them because it takes a lot of courage for them to come off the streets and come here and talk to us. We admit them, and it takes a lot of courage for them to take that first step. And they know it's hard, especially when they start detoxing. And we work with them. After a week or so, they're a totally different person.
My mom stayed in Vegas for till I was maybe about 8. She was into heroin really bad, and she OD'd when I was about maybe 12. I started maybe smoking weed when I was maybe about 8 or 9. And I started drinking when I was about 10. So from there, that's where it kind of escalated to when I was maybe about 13 to 14. I started abusing heroin and meth.
I mixed it with meth, mixed that bean with meth, and I just remember just coming to. I was in the hospital, and I couldn't move my leg. Still right now, I'm still trying to walk.
It was really tough the first day I got in here. The withdrawal was really bad, really bad. But what I kept doing was I kept praying, praying to our Creator to help me.
I'm feeling good about myself. I'm clean, I'm getting healthy, I'm starting to gain weight again. I lost quite a bit of weight during my drug abuse.
This is a really good place. It's an awesome place. It's an amazing thing that they've done. And in my eyes, they're heroes, Jason and Leonard, I look up to them as, superheroes.
It just felt like I was going in circles when I was out there. Since I came here, it opened up my spirit, this detox, There's workers here, there's Jason, there's all these other workers here, they're here to help us, and they've been here to help us. They helped me get back on track. Grab my sheet.
The whole reason he came.
All right, you guys have a good life.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, back.
I tried to get some of the original guys out. About everybody except, of course, Sly. Sly won't be with us tonight.
Well, Sly, he was a really caring person. He was a great person. Great person. He'll help any way he could. And then the last time I saw him, he was at my place and he said good night. And that's when he went to my bathroom and he don't eat.
This is a song I made when I was walking with my friend Sly. He was always asking me to sing it to him. He was always asking me, what's that song again? So I sing it to him while we walk. So I thought it was appropriate to use it to honor him. So I named the song after him, Sly, because I haven't put a name on it, and I named it after him to honor him. So.
Gimatbibitsen means compassion, caring. It means feeling for others who do not have the same health and happiness that you have. And it's also basically sharing and trying to take care of your fellow man or woman, because in our way of believing, if you help people out, then you are blessed to continue to do that. And so our people are supposed to give what they have or what they can to help others. And that means also compassion for those who are suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you, Colby.
Yeah.
See you, Kelly.
Yeah, see you. That's my nephew, dude.
Okay.
She's a long distance runner, too.
Really?
But they can't beat me.
Did your tent get wet on Saturday?
No.
So you stayed warm and dry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I do, like I want to go to treatment and George wants to go. Because we've been at it for a real long time. And it seems like every time when we try to like sober up, then something like this happens.
Leah's cousin Shauna, who she took as a sister, passed away suddenly last week.
George, and sorry, your name was?
Leah.
Leah? All right. How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
38 now?
37.
30 still, okay. What substance do you use?
Solvents and alcohol.
Okay. How often?
Every day.
Every day? For how long have you been using?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. About 22 years.
22 years. And what makes you want to stop? Anything you're working towards?
I'm just going to grievance now because I
Yeah.
just lost my sister.
I'm really sorry about that. Gary? Okay, we'll just get you to come back here.
Yeah.
We'll get you in the shower and get your laundry start going for you.
I think what's happened with you, George, is that after treatment, like you said before, where do I go? You don't have a house to go to. If we could have got you into your own place, but a place where people don't come in and they start drinking with you, hey?
Yeah.
And that's usually what makes you fall off the wagon, is that all your friends come, then pretty soon you fall off the wagon. So that's what we have to work on. I think that the counseling and that is good for you, but I don't think treatment's gonna make much difference right now, hey? I think the big thing is getting a home, a place to live for until we can work on getting you into your own place.
Yeah.
That's the big goal,
Yeah.
hey? I think that's a good start. Okay. Geez, those knees look really sore. Looks like you've been riding a horse for a while.
It's all what things are saying.
Yeah.
We've had over 300 clients come through the center since it's opened. We've had several go on to treatment. Some are now into transition housing. As of today, we have 17. We've got one more that's being treated in the hospital for pneumonia, and we've got one more coming back today who delivered a baby July 9th. And so mom and baby are both coming back today. So that'll get us to 19 plus a baby. She spent the last 3.5 months of her pregnancy with us in a detox center. So we were able to cut her back on her Suboxone to help with the baby's withdrawal once baby was born. Child Services asked if we could bring baby and mom back here just to monitor and make sure that they were coming into a safe environment, again, to help cut back on the Suboxone for mom and make sure baby is not suffering at all. So we agreed to it, and we'll see where that goes. Again, not something we planned for when we opened up the safe withdrawal site, but we're not going to turn anybody away.
Just looks so. You miss mommy? His face is just the same shape as yours.
I kept calling him my older son's name. So look the same.
Aww. Is he waking up a lot now?
No, he's actually
He sleeps a lot, eh? I better put something on those little feet, eh? You just want to be back in there, eh? Whoa. I'm dreaming. Are you dreaming? You got your mommy's face?
And they said even that helps him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, holding him like just so he feels something all around. If you leave him lying on the bed, you know how grandmas wrap them really tight? That helps him to feel secure. He still wants to curl his little feet up like he's inside you, see? Can you hear your mama's voice? She here? That's so good that worked out that way, hey? Yeah. Children's Services didn't interfere at all?
No, they did call, but the hospital told them they had no concerns, and then same with Wesley, so they just, because we're coming back here, they let us go.
That's wonderful, hey? So no worries about Children's Services coming and taking him away. Look at that. Look at those lips. Oh, he's gonna open his eyes. Come on. Oh, you're waking up. Oh, look at you. Look at that stretch. His eyes are like yours. Okay, I think I have to get to work here.
My biggest sister, she raised me up. Yeah, you know my mom, she checked out. Popping pills turned to pipe. Skin and bones and she not around. Dean, you were there. You picked me up from school, held my hand, cooked me food. You let me hang out in your room. You had that creepy smiley face poster up on your wall. Yeah, you were edgy, and you had heart. for teaching me how to drive. You didn't have much, you had that Caprice. It was white, that old cop car looking thing. It was a decent ride. And your son, he was 3, and we'd all roll around doing nothing but having a good time. It's safe to say we were pretty close. I had your back and you had mine. You're a good mom. You didn't forget how to love, but you gotta wake up. I know times get tough, but this is bigger than us. We all need you to stick around, but you're too good at keeping secrets and acting okay. But your eyes look lost and you're too far slimmed down. Oh, I miss you, Ray. I know your kids do too. And those fucking drugs are there taking over, and trust me, 'cause I've been there too. Let me tell you something. If you're going down, I'll be right behind you. Yeah, I'll start with a drink and it won't take me long. I'll find you. If it's good enough for you, then it's good enough for me.